Hello, my name is Justine, and I'm one of the Writing and Study Skills tutors. In this video, an introduction to writing for psychology, we will be looking at some tips to help you prepare for success in your general psychology course. Specifically, we will go over the topics of critical thinking, critical reading, and the writing style required for psychology and the social sciences. So essentially, we'll look at how to think, read, and write the way psychologists do. So let's get started. First, let's talk about what psychologists do and how they think. So, the field of psychology is a part of the social sciences. It studies the human mind and behavior from a scientific and social perspective. The purpose of a psychologist's work in general is to examine human behavior and seek to understand why humans behave the way we do. So, with this goal in mind, they gather what is called empirical research. Now, this means research that is based on facts and evidence from scientific experiments or observations rather than simply beliefs or theories alone. Finally, psychologists engage in critical thinking based on that scientific evidence and experimentation to come to some conclusions about human behavior. So, an empirical study by a psychologist, or often a group of psychologists, will be presented in a specific format, and it will include an abstract, introduction, method, results, discussion, and references at the end. Next, let's talk about how to read critically, which is very important for your psychology course. You want to remember that in college, your instructors want you to go beyond just reading for understanding. You should be sure you're analyzing and interpreting information rather than just summarizing ideas. So, here you can see a basic three-step process that will help you to read critically. First, before reading an article or chapter in your textbook, you should quickly glance at things like the title, headings, illustrations, the length, and anything else you notice just to help prep your brain before you start reading. Now, the next step you see here is a quick word for word reading that allows you to fill in some of the gaps or details missing after that first glance. And then finally, that third step is a close, deliberate reading. Now, during this final close reading, you should be annotating the text by taking notes in the margins or on a separate piece of paper or device to help you combine all of your critical thinking and reading skills. So you should jot down any questions about concepts that are unfamiliar, and then you can return to those questions after you finish reading the text. Or you can also note any unfamiliar words and look them up if they aren't clearly defined for you. And finally, after reading the passage multiple times in this way, you're ready to make a judgment about your reading through analysis and interpretation, making connections. So, this is the college level reading that your instructors are expecting, and it will help you best comprehend the material and prepare you for college level writing in your psychology class as well. Okay, now that we've addressed how to critically think and read like psychologists do, let's get into the key points for writing like a psychologist. First, psychologists use a direct, straightforward writing style. Now, this may be different from the way you've written in other humanities courses or your English class, but you'll need to be precise and present factual evidence. Now, you can do this with clear and concise wording, and you'll want to be careful to avoid things like figurative language and usually any personal examples or opinions. Now, this can vary by paper assignment, of course, so be sure to closely examine your assignment sheet and follow your instructor's specific directions. But in general, following these guidelines when writing for psychology, especially research papers or reports, will set you up for success. Okay, thank you for listening to this introduction to writing for psychology. I hope that you have learned some helpful information to get you thinking and reading and writing in ways necessary for success in your psychology course. And remember that if you ever need any assistance with your assignments, you can always schedule a tutoring appointment with us. Okay, thanks for again, and good luck with your course.